Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Welcome to Chicago, where the fire serve cold, but the Wolves and the Hawks never shiver in the snow. The Bulls keep it running, the Sox run the South, the Cubs run the North, but the Bears run the house. True Chicago sports fans got their ears to the street. Any team make a move and they never skip a beat. And in this house, this is where we be. Welcome to the show with E-Rock and Big Z.
Welcome to Chicago. Coming from the Two Chicago Sports Fan Cave, this is the TCSF podcast with E-Rock and Big Z.
Hey, I'm talking over here.
Oh boy. Goes to New York for a week and he comes back talking like this. All right, episode 99 is brought to you by 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, ACSI, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirts. Search for keyword True Chicago and then use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Go and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirts now.
Right now.
As always, I am Big Z, and I hear my boy E-Rock. What up, E?
What's up, Z? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the show. If you are a first-timer or a long-timer, please remember to hit that subscribe button, that notify button, and go ahead and give us a review on your listening app of choice. You can find us on Facebook at True Chicago Fans. You can follow us on Twitter at True Chi Fans and on IG at True Chicago Sports Fans. And don't forget, you can support the show with a monthly subscription at anchor.fm/True Chicago Sports Fans. Go on over there and click on support, and you can subscribe for as low as 99 cents a month. Ladies and gentlemen, do you like the show?
I do.
Are you a fan?
I am.
Then tell 5 of your friends, and they will tell 5 of their friends, and we can all be friends. Look, it's episode 99, 99, all the way fine, right? Hey, man, I'm so excited about 99, man.
Well, yeah, it was that graduation year. Of course you're excited about 99.
Yeah. And all these stupid freshmen. Never mind. Look. Look, if you are a fan of the show, hey, tell the freshmen, the sophomore, the juniors, and the seniors, tell them all. Come and check out the show. If you enjoy the content, we want you to bring in people that you know will also enjoy the content. So this is the place to be. Z, what's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's beautiful outside. So after we're recording, I am definitely going to take a little walk. But this week, school is out for summer, baby. It's 2.5 months off, and I'm gonna enjoy every second of it. I'm gonna try to do something every day, because if not, I'm gonna sit in the bed and Netflix and Hulu and Apple TV and yeah, I'll wake up and I'm like, man, it's already 7 p.m. and I haven't done anything. So I need to be proactive and catch up on home chores, clean this place out. You know, you have a dog. It doesn't matter how many times you clean. There's always going to be dog hair just flying around. So you got to get rid of that. Take care of my health and hobbies, man. See if I can get out there on the pad, on the 606 and the lakefront pad and just, get some miles in and get some exercise in. That'll definitely let me relax. As I don't know if you're a bike rider, but for me, when I go on the bike and I just go and I don't have a destination, I'm just going on the path. I don't really have to think. My mind just goes to a happy zone. You get those endorphins going, and it's really good for your body to disconnect from like social media and your issues, your problems, whatever it may be, but be able to just go and not think. It's really good for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all have our ways of releasing tension, energy, that nervous energy that we get over time. I mean, whether it's at work, whether it's your home life, whatever you're going on with your personal relationships, hell, sometimes your favorite sports team giving you anxiety, you know what I mean? So, yeah, absolutely. A little bit of exercise, a little bit of, getting out there, getting the blood flowing, and that's always good for your body, your health, your mind, all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. And especially, have you seen the prices of fuel?
Yeah, man, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, dude. I don't have a very long drive to work, but it's enough where it starts to pile up, plus softball, plus any other chores that we have to do, any other running around. I mean, I'm a family of 4, so, I have a lot of travel that I have to do. And, yeah, man, it's starting to hurt a little bit.
Oh, dude, it's like, I think it's like $100 right now to fill my tank up, and I'm on Échale, which is E for Spanish. Échale, Échale gasolina. That's what it's on right now. And I was like, I can get through the work week without putting some, and I was like, literally, it was Tuesday. It was at 5:06, and I'm like, yeah, that's okay. I'll put some tomorrow. I gotta have a tank. I'll put some tomorrow. The next day it was 5:63. I'm like, wait. What?
Yep.
5:06 to 5:63. You jumped almost 60 cents in one day. That is. I mean, bend you over, no lube. There you go.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, look, when I left to go to New York, it was $4.97, and I came back and we got the ride, and my wife's cousin's like, yeah, it's like $5.60. I said, bullshit. I ain't been there and gone that long. What the fuck?
What year is it?
Yeah, right. Like, what happened? I know we went back in time when coming back from the Eastern time zone, but what the hell just happened to me?
Yeah, it's nuts, man. For real. Like I know you remember because you have a memory on the elephant, but like I remember when it was a big deal when gasoline was at $3 when they broke the $2 mark to $3. It was such a big thing that they suspended the gas tax and they were doing all the things to help all these people out. It's at $6 almost.
So speaking, funny enough that you mentioned that gas tax is that while I was in New York, I put on the news because I'm an old man and I put on the news wherever I go, and they did suspend the gas tax in New York State for the rest of the year. Oh, nice. And the funny thing was that the New Jersey governor, and I'm sure that by now everyone knows that if you are from New York or live in New York, you absolutely hate New Jersey because New Jersey sucks. And the New Jersey governor was on there because he is also local to the area, and he says, nope, we're not going to do that. We're not suspending shit. You guys can kick rocks. So I thought that was pretty funny.
That's messed up. So what people are gonna do is gonna spend $8 to $10 across the bridge and then go fill up on there and come back. I don't even.
Yeah, I guess the reasoning behind it was that what it does is that tax helps with their infrastructure, and what would happen is that their infrastructure budget would drop, and then they would have to make it up somewhere else. So that was the reasoning. But also, fuck New Jersey.
Well, New York teams play New Jersey, so they should tax the shit out of them.
Good for them.
Yeah. Anyway, and speaking of New York, how was your trip?
Man, let me tell you, we usually when we get to this part of the show, we talk about what our week was like. So let me break that down for you real quick. Mm-hmm. Monday, we had Memorial Day. We were over at the crib barbecuing. We did last week's show. We had the barbecue, hanging out, kids in the pool, all that good shit. Tuesday, I went to work. And then Wednesday, I was gone. I went to New York. We went over and we stayed at a cool place called Boro, B-O-R-O Hotel over in Queens, basically Long Island City, a small area right there. And so we kind of we originally intended to go to the World Trade. We decided not to that night. And we just kind of wandering around the neighborhood, and we ended up in Astoria, and we had a nice dinner at a Colombian restaurant. I think it's called the Basuero. So that was, it was pretty good. Funny enough, we tried to go to a Colombian restaurant last year for our anniversary here in Chicago, and it was hot garbage. I don't know if we just ordered the wrong thing or what, but this place was much better. And it was, like I said, it was just us kind of wandering around and seeing what we found. We did that the first night on Wednesday, and then on Thursday we kind of did we went down to Brooklyn in the Dumbo area, which has a very famous framing of the bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge over there. We got a couple of photos from that area. Had a slice of New York pizza, and it's good. It's good. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. But then from there, we kind of traveled over to see the World Trade Center Memorial, which is it's not depressing. It is very humbling. Okay,
yeah.
You see the size of the area where everyone was. And reading all the names, and funny enough, we actually found Pete Davidson's dad's name on there. My wife found it there, so that was pretty cool. Have you ever been to that tribute there?
So when I went to New York, everything was still being built. The spire was being built. They were like about 3/4 way done with it, and they were still digging that area. So it was a while ago. So. It's even when it wasn't being built, it felt eerie in a way because it felt like a cold chill, and obviously you want to be sentimental and respectful to everyone who passed away. There's the subway station right there. That's where because we stayed in New Jersey, we took the train, the pass, whatever it's called, and from Jersey to New York, and then you get off there and you're like, oh, okay, it's right here. Cool. So we walked around a little bit, and nothing was really. The only thing that was built was a museum at that point, and they had just unveiled it. So we didn't. It was super packed, so we didn't want to go in there. But I had a question for you. You said you took that picture by the bridge.
Yeah, so we got a couple of photos by the framed bridge that, like, literally, I guess every show in New York does. I wasn't really familiar with it. Kim was the one that pointed it out, so we went over to that area.
Okay, so I did see that picture. It's a great picture. Shout out to your photographer. That bridge, and that's obviously that scene, like you said, has been used a lot, but it was used in the Tom Cruise movie War of the Worlds.
Oh yeah, it's super famous. I mean, like. There was a few things that happened as I'm watching like more New York films and things like that where I'm I never knew that was even a thing, but the framing of the buildings that sit right there, so it was actually pretty cool. Tons of tourists over there. I really didn't consider how touristy New York would be, I guess, mainly because I don't go to touristy areas here in Chicago, so we went to the tourist places for sure, because after the World Trade Center, we actually wandered over to go see the Statue of Liberty, and then we hopped on the boat and went over there and actually saw it. So that was actually pretty cool. It was only like $25. You got to go through the whole TSA screening again. So, they just make sure that you don't have anything that's gonna anyone or anything, and then you hop on the boat, and you can actually stop at the Statue of Liberty, get off there, and kind of look around, and then they also have a stop at Ellis Island, so you have the option of checking out both, and they kind of give you a little background. So I mean, the whole trip, round trip, took about an hour, because a lot of people getting on and off the boat. It's basically like a little ferry thing, so that was pretty cool. Then for our anniversary dinner, we went over and had some sushi. I can't remember the name of the place right now. If I do, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, so like it was just no. As a matter of fact, it was called SHI. It was for sushi, I guess. So that we went over there. We had some really good sushi, and then we went back to the hotel, got changed, and we headed over and saw some comedy. Man, we got the Comedy Cellar has like 3 little locations there, so we went to a place called the Fat Black Pussycat Club. You make of that as you will. The really cool thing was that, so basically the tickets that we got were for the late night show, and it was kind of like whoever wanted to pop in after their show. So we got a couple of comedians. The one big name was Sam J, and if you don't know her, she is a African-American lesbian comedian who has her own Netflix special. She's out there. She came on stage for a little bit, and she was actually really good. It was just nice. The Comedy Cellar basically runs all these shows, and if you're not familiar with the way they have the kind of the Comedy Cellar window behind you, it is a very, very small room. So overall, I mean, it's only like $20 plus drinks, so it wasn't bad at all, and it was a lot of fun. And you really didn't know who was going to be up there, on any given night.
Yeah, that's what's cool about the Comedy Cellar and all the clubs that they own and run, is that you'll never know. Somebody can stop by and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to do a 15-minute set, and, it's after hours, so they really don't give a fuck. It's like we already gave these guys their time, and you might get someone like, a Robin Williams just stop in. Hey, I'm in the area. I'm fucking bored. I'm going to do 15 minutes.
Yeah, there was another guy. His name's I think Ari Schaefer. He's getting ready to do a special and at the actual Comedy Cellar around the corner. So he was up there for a few minutes, and it was funny because you could tell they were just working through some material. So after that, we kind of let out. We're talking about around midnight or so. So I walk out the door. We go around the corner, and I didn't realize that the original Comedy Cellar was literally around the corner. So we walk around the corner. I seen that. I take a picture of that. And I kind of look over and see a group of young men sitting at a table, and I says, hey, I think I recognize that one guy. And so we keep walking, and I look at my wife and I go, that was Michael Che. And she's like, really? And she goes, I'm surprised you're not, going crazy right now.
Fangirl.
And we kept walking down the street, and I was like, you know what? We wanted to go get a slice of pizza. And I says, you know what? Let's go back the other way. If I don't go at least say what's up to him, I says, I'm going to regret it, right? I'm going to be thinking about it all night, all weekend when I get home. So right when we're turning around, we start walking back, and I actually recognized another guy from his table from his HBO show, That Damn Michael Che. I didn't know his name, so I didn't say anything to him. But I see Che sitting there, and the guy sitting right next to him happened to get up and walk away from the table. So I was like, here's my chance. So I go up there, and I'm like, hey, what's up, Che? I'm a big fan. Shook his hand. I says, would you mind if I get a photo real quick? He's like, no, come on, let's do this. Took a photo with me, said, hey, I appreciate you, and walked off. I didn't do anything weird. And be like, oh my God, it's him. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I didn't do none of that dumb shit. I've been around enough famous people in my life to know that they're just people.
Yeah.
And if you act fucking weird, they're going to be weirded out.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm a huge fan. Appreciate you. Thanks for taking a photo. That's how that went.
That's all you really need to do. I mean, you got to meet him. You got to shake his hand. That's the interaction you want, and then you got the momentum. You got the picture, and he wasn't a dick about it. He's like, yeah, let's take this picture. It doesn't cost me anything to give you a picture, and I made your fucking day. That's what
it was cool.
Yeah, he was cool about it. Guess what? You move on.
It was like I said, I've met enough famous people to understand that there's regular people. So that was cool. We went around the corner. We had grabbed a couple slices of pizza. Went back to the hotel. Right. Next day. Now, let me tell you, from the first night we were there, it was raining. But we were up on like 11th floor of this hotel where you can actually see the Brooklyn Bridge. You see downtown skyline or Manhattan skyline. You see all this, right? And it's lightning. So I'm watching the whole shit like blow up, like Gotham on fire. Blah, 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 you know what I mean? That was cool as shit. So we got all the different views because one night it was foggy. You couldn't see shit except the bridge. That one night with the lightning. And then as you're coming up like early morning, like 5, 6 in the morning, we saw this. Like, it was just a really dope view of where we were. Next morning we get up. I tell Kim, I says, what do you want to do today? We're going to the Yankees game tonight. Did you get to do everything you wanted to do? She wanted to go see Carrie Bradshaw's house from Sex and the City. So we get on the train, right? We get on the train, we take the train, and F train or whatever it was by the hotel. And the stop we get off on is literally right next to the comedy club. I'm like, yo, this is exactly where we were last night. We didn't want to get back on the subway at like 2 in the morning because he was sketchy as hell over there.
Yep.
So we hopped on the Uber. We had no idea how like really close we actually were to that area. Otherwise, we might have been over there a little bit more. So we go over to Carrie Bradshaw's house. There's a restaurant that she had really wanted to try. We were going to try to go there for our anniversary dinner anyway. So we went up there and we had, now this one I honestly don't remember. I don't remember the name of it, but really good like Italian food. We had a pizza there. It wasn't impressive, but the pasta was really, really good. Drinks were really, really good. So, we were feeling good at like 2 in the afternoon. Haul ass back to the hotel. On the way, I walked through Washington Square Park, which is right next to NYU. I'm going to get to that a little bit later. I really want to tell you all about that.
Okay.
So we get back, go to the hotel, change. I put on the greatest game ever played. Was it on a Wednesday in Cleveland? I put on my shirt there, and we head over to the Bronx. And the Bronx, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, the Bronx is a piece of shit.
Whoa.
Disgusting. It is gross. It is not good. It's not like, even around Sox Park, you got somewhere to drink. Wrigley, you know what Wrigley is. It's just shitty over there. Like, there's nothing. Like, we went to a store. Like, I'm looking at, like, Clark Street Sports or whatever, like, we got by Wrigley. This is just a shitty place. Like, this is like, oh, hello, welcome. Everything in here is fake. So we walked right out of there. We went. I was originally instructed to go to Stan's over there, but when we were on the train, we saw it was packed. So I went to another bar right across the street. It's called The Dugout. Had a brew, walked in, got a couple pictures. The stadium itself is very, very nice. It reminded me of Sox Park, and I only say that because going to Wrigley, there's sight lines. Wherever you sit, you can see out of the park, right?
Well, just about.
Sox Park,
just about. Come on.
Huh?
I said Wrigley, just about. There's a couple seats where you're sitting behind a pillar.
You understand what I'm saying, though?
Yeah,
like, if you pick a seat, I can see the sky outside of the park.
Yes.
When you're at Sox Park, the very top of the park is advertisements. The highest point is advertisement, and it's the same thing with Yankee Stadium.
Gotcha.
So that's why I say it's like that. Nice stadium, like really cool environment. It was Aaron Judge bobblehead night. He went out there and hit a home run.
Nice.
Rizzo hit a home run. We saw Javi out there. Funny thing is that when Javi is going to cross first base, him and Rizzo walked right past each other like they never met. I don't know what that's about, but that was interesting.
Wow, that's a story developing there, Mr. E-Rock.
So yeah, I mean, Yankees went out there, kicked ass. We dipped out of there, grabbed another brew. We watched a cover band with a black singer doing Eminem songs. That was pretty fun.
Okay.
It was terrible. It was fucking awful. I've never seen I was like, you could have hired a DJ for how shitty as this was. But the bar closed at like 11 o'clock.
What is that about? What is that about?
They're like, no, we know this is the Bronx. Get the fuck out. That's probably what it is.
Get the fuck out.
Because even the McDonald's right there was sketchy as hell when we got there at like 6 o'clock. Like, why is everyone hanging outside? We actually went back on the subway, headed back towards the hotel. Stopped over at a little bodega at fucking 2 a.m. and managed to get like hot sandwiches. Like it's wild. Like this shit, it was just like, we're just open.
Yeah.
What time? Yeah, no, come on. What you want? I got a Jamaican patty and a fucking hot panini sandwich at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just weird. Like, I mean, we're used to that here to a certain extent, but shit just, we're just open. Talk about never sleeps. So yeah, man, Saturday back home, fly back home. Sunday morning, another softball game, another win, baby. So that's what it is, man. That was the whole week.
Damn. You just come, fuck shit up and leave, huh?
That's right. and make sure people remember me when I leave.
Man, this sounds like a great start to your summer, brother.
But ladies and gentlemen, like Z said, summer is here. And if you need a fresh start, let me tell you about a great opportunity with our friends over at ACSI. With over 50 expert technicians in the Chicagoland area, ACSI offers a one-stop shop for telecom wiring. Whether residential cable installation, fiber to the home, or commercial structured cable wiring. ACSI is a proud partner of both Comcast and Astound, powered by RCN. Fans, let me tell you the most impressive thing about ACSI. The ACSI crew did their thing during the COVID-19 pandemic, and ACSI was awarded HACIA's 2020 Contractor of the Year award. The best part is that ACSI is growing bigger and better than ever. ACSI is now hiring for field sales, technicians, and project managers. Check out acsi.tech. That's acsi.tech and click on careers to apply today. ACSI is an equal opportunity employer.
Go get you a job.
Please go get a job and you can take a trip just like we did. This week, we're going to talk some Cubs and Sox, see what the Young Bucks are up to, and see what the Sox are doing because I feel like they're not doing as much as they should be. We got all that plus stirring the pot and what you looking at. But first, this is the Big Three with Big Z.
Thanks, E-Rock. I'm Big Z and you're not. Now, for today's stories. Story number 1. And this is because somebody's been watching Yellowstone all 3 seasons, man. A woman is gored by a bison in Yellowstone National Park. The bison charged a Grove City, Ohio resident, fuck Ohio, this past Monday, tossed her 10 feet in the air after she had approached the animal. How stupid are people to approach a bison? It's like, I don't know, an 800-pound animal with horns? Like, how? Let me take this for Instagram. It'll look great on my TikTok. You fucking idiot.
Here's the thing, though. If you're not familiar, a bison might look like a buffalo, and maybe she's a fan of the Bills. I don't know. That's the best I got.
It's fucking Ohio people, man. Come on. What the fuck are you thinking?
Hey, look, I mean, I think we've proved time and time again on this show that people from Ohio are not quite right in the head, so this does not surprise me at all.
It does not. Now, moving on. Story number 2. Boxing legend Butterbean is back in shape and has called out Jake Paul for a fight.
What are you back in shape? Round is a shape. He's always been
He's always been round. The heavyweight is now 55 years old and since retired since 2013. However, he's been working hard in recent months to get back into shape. What is he doing? Going to McDonald's and eating donuts? What is his training like? He's been working with former WWE star Diamond Dallas Page, who has worked with retired athletes to pass to help them deal with post-retirement plan and get them healthy. I am actually going to do the DDP yoga stuff. I'm going to buy it next week and I'll report back.
Okay, well, we'll see. Again, round is shape.
It is. That's what I tell my students. Like, we need to get in shape. And the shape we don't want to be is round. I don't know. I mean, I want to see it. I want to see it. Let's be honest. I want to see
we're
it.
going to watch it.
Of course we're going to watch it.
Sit here, we're going to crack some beer, and we're going to watch it. You know that's what's going to happen. So, I mean, we could sit here and talk shit about it all day, but you know damn well they will be plopped in front of the fucking TV.
Good word.
Whatever the fuck. Trying to not be round, you know?
Oh, you was plopped. Oh, man. I mean, it's gonna be. I think it would be an interesting fight just because if Butterbean catches Jake Paul with one punch, you know Jake Paul's going down because this motherfucker used to knock people out in the 90s and the 2000s with one punch.
Well, I think the key of what you're saying is the 90s and 2000s, and that was a long time ago, right? I mean, I think we've proven that when you look at our bald head and great hairs. I mean, that's how it works, right?
Yep.
So the thing is that you're also talking about a guy who's young who has been training to fight. Is he a great boxer? No, but he has been fighting people out there, and he's been doing his thing. So it's not like he's been going out there getting embarrassed. If I'm not mistaken, he just beat Tyron Woodley not too long ago, who was a UFC fighter, much smaller than him. And we just saw like Darren Williams and Frank Gore fought each other. You know what I mean? So we're seeing kind of these niche boxing matches come about, more of the celebrity boxing shit that they're doing again. I mean, look, I'm here for it. It's entertaining, so I'm not gonna snooze on it at all.
No, I'm down for it. And, book it. Let's watch it, and let's have some good laughs. Because, I mean, who's gonna be a sponsor? Krispy Kreme?
We're gonna do it live.
He's gonna be glazed over. Woo. Oh boy. Story number 3. Reliever Jose Cuas made Major League Baseball debut with the Kansas City Royals this past Tuesday. For the former infielder turned reliever, Cuas got to realize his dream after being forced to put the baseball career on hold and becoming a FedEx driver in order to support his family during the COVID-19 pandemic. He said, "It's a dream come true being a kid from New York. Everything has been tough in my playing career. To be here in a major league stadium with a chance to pitch, I can't even say I dreamed about it." Cuas told MLB.com after Kansas City's 8-3 loss, "It's beyond my dreams."
Yeah, I mean, he's been through such a lot in his career trying to get there. He was originally selected by the Brewers in the 11th round of the 2015 draft. In 2017, they chose to convert him to a pitcher after he was originally drafted as an infielder. And then a year later, Milwaukee made the decision to release him. He had a little stint with the Long Island Ducks, which is an independent team in the Atlantic League, and he eventually signed with the Diamondbacks in 2019, but he was released when COVID-19 hit. And so he worked as a FedEx driver in Brooklyn in an effort to support his family and trained with his brother at night. And he had hopes of resuming his baseball career one day. So, look, they came through for him last year, and the Royals signed him after he spent some time in the Dominican Winter League. This is a great, great story. I think he's like 27 years old. But, I mean, look, we're seeing these guys that don't give up. Baseball is the one sport where you see it, where they just keep grinding and grinding and grinding, and you can see all the 30-year-old rookies on the Chicago Cubs that are proving that.
Yeah, definitely. This is a great story, and you know what? I'm going to reach out to Mike Deportes because maybe he has a connection, being a countryman and everything. So, Mike is blowing up. He was featured on some Spanish news. They had him interviewed and for everything he's doing. So shout out to Mike for everything that you're doing, bro. You're getting big, and we just love what you're doing, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's the man. He is, he was so gracious to come into the studio not that long ago, talk about when he broke that Javi Baez story about the money he was getting to go to Detroit. And, hopefully, hey, maybe we'll get this young man on the show and talk about his career and talk about, what the roadblocks that were in his way to make his way to the major leagues. This is just a super cool story, man. It
is. It's one of those redemption stories. And guess what? This is something you can make a movie out of.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
Everybody likes a comeback. I'm Big Z, and that's news to me. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride. So do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15
for 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Welcome back to the TCSF podcast with E-Rock and Big Z.
Yeah.
This is 3 Up and 3 Down.
I think I'll perplex him with my slow ball.
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
Yo, E, what's going on with the Cubbies?
Go, Cubs, go! Go, Cubs, go! Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win.
Hey, man, this is exciting time for the Cubs, and it's not because of their record. Rookie Caleb Killian was called up by the Cubs, and he started in Game 2 of last Saturday's doubleheader. He was originally drafted by the San Francisco Giants, and he came over to the Cubs as part of that Chris Bryant trade. He said it was breathtaking when he first walked out there to see this place. Wrigley is the coolest ballpark ever. Hey, I can't disagree, man. I can't disagree. I went to Sox Park for the first time last year. I went to Yankee Stadium like 2 days ago. I can't disagree, man. Wrigley's better than them all. This is what it is, man.
I'd still take Boston over Wrigley.
Well, okay, that nobody cares about fucking Boston. Anyway, so Killian allowed 3 runs, 3 hits, and 2 walks in 5 innings. He struck out 6, and the Cubs ended up losing that game in a 10-inning 7-4 loss. He was perfect for 3 innings, retiring the first 9 Cardinal hitters he faced on 31 pitches, 4 on strikeouts. He's done nothing but get outs as a professional. This season alone, he's compiled a 2.06 ERA and a 273 strikeout to walk ratio in 9 starts for the Cubs AAA affiliate. For his minor league career, he's posted a 208 ERA and a 567 strikeout to walk ratio, meaning that his numbers this season have actually been worse than his standard.
No, it looks like a kid that you're going to have up in the major league for a long time. This is part of that Chris Bryant trade, the turning of the tide or the new regime. It is one of those things that you look at like, okay, we traded away a really good player, a former MVP, for these young kids. And now you're getting the residuals. These young kids has put in the work in AAA, and now he's showing up in the big leagues. And this is exactly what you want to see. You want to see that you're getting something for giving away something.
Right, and I mean, like, we know the names that are in the minors. We know about Pete Crow Armstrong. We know about Ed Howard, who's out for the season. But there was another first-timer. His name is Matt Swarmer, and he earned his first big league win. And Frank Schwindel homered in a 3-hit showing to lead the Cubs over the Cards 6-1 in the first game of that doubleheader. He's now 1-0. He allowed 2 hits and 1 earned run in 6 innings, striking out 6 and walking 2. The righty made his first start on Monday, getting a no decision while giving up 1 earned run in 6 innings against Milwaukee. Schwarmer helped snap Paul Goldschmidt's 25-game hitting streak, so Jesus. Fuck you. And the Cardinals star went 0-2 with a strikeout, a ground out, and 2 walks, and fell 1 game short of the longest hitting streak in his career. Look, here's the thing. The future is looking bright on the north side. They're out there fighting tooth and nail, giving the young guys a chance. And like I've been saying all year, they're not as bad as their record shows.
No, they're definitely not as bad. And we've been saying it since the beginning of the season, that they're not going to be this bottom seller team. They're not the Reds. I mean, you're going to be better than the Pirates. The Pirates will always fade towards the end. They do a little hot streak here and there. And that's the only reason they're ahead of you. And it's only about 2 games. But again, you guys are much better than what your record shows. You have a lot of young talent that is boiling over to the top now. And then, like we talked about last week, Frank Schwindel, the Frank the Tank, is playing very well. I think I seen him pitching the other day. Did he pitch?
When you have these weird kind of, because it was a blowout game and things like you see these guys go over there. But I learned something today. I want to say either a team up or down 6 runs can have a position player pitch. So it's not. That's where your line is. And I want to say there was a game where it was disputed because
it was
whatever
the Dodgers and the Mets.
That's what it was. And they were just somebody was bitching about something because it's baseball. That's what they do. But look, I'm with you when we talk about the talent level on this Cubs team. When you talk about them being one game, as of Sunday, one game behind the Pirates at 23-31, and the Pirates have 24 wins. But the Pirates just swept, I want to say, the Dodgers. And the Reds just swept the Red Sox. So, I mean, you never know. It's just baseball. The Cubs are 5-5 in their last 10. And, look, they're 9 games back. They're not going to win the division. They're not going to catch. They're not going to get a wild card spot. But they're going to ruin somebody else's chance.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be there competing at the end of the year because they play each other over and over. You're going to be seeing them playing competitive games versus the Brewers and Cardinals down the line. And they're going to ruin someone's night. They're definitely going to ruin someone's night. Someone's like going for that number 1 spot or number 2 spot, and they're going to bump them down to a wild card. So that's what your season is going to be. You're going to be there to spoil someone else's chances.
Hey, we're gonna ruin someone's night in a couple weeks when we go down to St. Louis to watch the Cubs and Cards.
Oh, that's going to be fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, man, that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be down there in a couple weeks, so if you see us, come and say hi. I'm sure we'll have something offensive to Cardinals fans on. But, Z, while we're talking about it, what's going on the South Side?
White Sox, White Sox, go, go, White Sox. Let's go, 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 White Sox. We're with you all the way.
The White Sox, man, they just finished taking 2 of 3 from Tampa. You would never have thought that they were going to turn the ship around after being swept by the Blue Jays. I mean, that series with the Blue Jays was tough. It was a lot of hitting. The pitching has not been there. But the Sox had some unlikely heroes, especially Danny Mendick. Yes, you heard me right. Danny Mendick has been hot with the stick. There he is. And Jake Berger with burger bombs to carry the Sox in this series. Did you catch anything?
Look, I'm telling you right now, I've been talking about Jake Berger before, and that guy right there, I feel like you're over here regretting that Yoan Moncada trade right now. I mean, granted, here's the thing. Chris Sale did not want to be on the South Side the way he was cutting up jerseys.
No.
Okay, you did get Kopech, but I mean, Moncada's supposed to be the star of that fucking trade, and he ain't doing dick, and Berger's been the one that's been out there doing the thing.
Yeah, definitely. Berger's been showing out, and this is a guy who's blown 2
Yep.
Why can't think of that? Achilles tendons.
Yeah.
He blew out 2 Achilles, and he still made it to the major leagues. And then part of that trade, they wanted Rafael Devers. They didn't want Moncada.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, nope, you can't give you Devers. You're gonna give you Moncada. And then
There's a reason why.
exactly. Again, Moncada off and on. Oh, my hamstring. Oh, this, my hair. Hey, Playboy, you made a whole song, an album. If your hips can move like that, bro, you can go play third base, bro. And that's one thing that's really bothering me on Moncada is that you have not been up to the hype. You're not
Proven himself to be a major league ready player or someone that has the caliber of talent to be in the major leagues right now. I don't see it.
His defense is great, but you got to be on the field to show that out. So I'd rather have a kid that's serviceable at third base and the one that can hit burger bombs and get your team onto a winning streak.
You know what this thing makes me think of even more is the fact that you guys could have had Carlos Correa.
If they weren't, I know it's frustrating because they should have spent that money on him. If you're looking at retrospect, obviously you don't want to be like, oh, we signed Yasmani Grandal for the biggest White Sox contract ever. What was it, $75 million? And he's hitting under 200. And he had an error at first base today. Why is this man playing first base? You have 4 basemen. 4 first basemen, and he's playing first base. That makes no sense at all.
Look, I don't get it. And again, I think what we're doing time and time again is we're rehashing the fact that Tony La Russa is 150 years old. He's not belong in a Major League Baseball park. I'm surprised he gets home every night. Okay.
Yeah, with Girardi getting fired this week.
Yep. That was the question. I was coming up next.
No, Girardi got fired this week because his team is underperforming with a bunch of All-Stars. Now, granted,
would you rather have TLR or Girardi?
No, give me Girardi all day.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's my whole point is that you're over here with this guy that had his AARP card for the last 75 fucking years, okay? Like he was probably the founder, you know what I mean? Like his social security number is 3. So why the hell is
Jesus, Moses, and him?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, hey, that's the 3 kings right there, right? So look, Why is this man allowed to show up at a major league park in Chicago every single fucking day and make a horrible lineup card, make horrible decisions, and just does weird dumb shit out there? He keeps leaving in pitchers way too long, right?
Yeah.
We saw Cueto in there floundering when he was pitching against the Cubs, and he just sat there and watched him.
Yeah,
he's like, maybe when you get to be my age, you just stay out there forever.
He's like, Nolan Ryan never took a break.
Right, and I mean, shit, Cueto is almost as old as La Russa, but shit, at least he knows how to where the bathroom is.
Yeah, but
not pissing in a coffee can behind the dugout.
Oh my God! No, this is what you got to do with La Russa. You know when you had your little brother, your little sister, and they wanted to play the Nintendo or Sega or whatever next to you, you unplug their plug and let them play and think they're playing. Right? This is what you do with him. Let him give him that Crayola
with an invisible ink to fill out the lineup card.
Give him a lineup card with a Crayola. Here you go, fill that out. I want to make my own lineup and post it.
No, you got to give him that invisible ink. So as soon as he's done, he hands it to you. You're like, all right, yeah, that was the official one. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Okay. You made it.
What we're really gonna do, and then just watch him as he's confused, as he can't figure out why those other players are on the field.
This is the first series.
Who they are.
Yeah, this is the first series where they actually put someone who can actually hit in the number one spot by putting Danny Mendick. Danny Mendick has come in relief of Tim Anderson, and he was supposed to start at second base, but they signed Josh Harrison. So Mendick is one of those kids that's been in the system through us, and he's been here for a while, and he's been there sparingly. He's better than Lurie. I'll tell you right now at second base. I mean, Larry has a little stronger of an arm, but I think defensively ranging, he has better range, and he has a better stick. Anyways, no, Danny Mendick came in for Tim Anderson, and he had that brain fart running. I don't know if you saw that, right?
Yeah.
He's trying to be aggressive. Okay. Second of all, that's on the coaches. That is definitely on first base coach. Hey, do not go to second. Let the run score. You had one of your best hitters coming up right after that. You had Vaughn coming up, and then Vaughn would have drove him in. So that's a coaching issue. He's come in there and he's been showing out. He's batting pretty good. That's why he's at the top of the lineup. Berger, he's fighting his way to stay on this lineup, and he's giving you a reason why he should not be out of the lineup.
Exactly. He's giving you a reason not just to keep him up here at this level, but to find a way to get him into the lineup every day.
Yeah, definitely. And then
and I know you have to have you paid Grandal all this money, right? You traded away your other catcher who's hurt right now, but he's been doing well, right? So now this is where you're at right now. But I mean, you have these guys that are showing that they belong, that they earn their time, and that's my biggest concern, is that you got guys that should be getting playing time that are not getting regular playing time, like fucking Berger, because you got other guys that are in their way, and because of the fact that they're
becoming stars, or they are,
or stars at one point, or whatever it is, they're highly viewed in the MLB world. They're the ones taking away the opportunities from these guys who actually deserve a chance.
No, I agree with you 1,000%. Like a guy like Josh Harrison, he was a plug. Literally a plug, a patch on the boat. Hey, this will get us through the week or through the month. And guess what? Bye. See you later. He should be DFA'd. Is another kid. I know he got like a double. He got a double today, and he made it to third on an throwing error. But I still don't think he is the answer at second base. And this has been the issue for the last 3 to 4 years with the White Sox, where you're trying to plug somebody at second base and at right field. And those are the two issues that we still have. And then your catcher, who you paid all this money for, can't play defensive catcher, can't catch the ball, and then he can't hit either. Guess what? You're fucking useless at this point. Let the kid play behind the plate every day, and we'll put somebody else at DH.
Well, funny enough that you say that, because I'm watching your little boy over here, Madrigal, bat right now for the Cubs in the Cubs Cards night game. But yeah, I mean, it funny enough that you say that they're over here searching for an answer at second base, when I can see that, once again, we know that the White Sox had no faith in Madrigal. Otherwise, they would have held on to him, instead of going to the guy they got from the Indians last year and the guy that they got from the Pirates this year, right? So, I mean, that gives me even less hope for this little boy right here. Oh my God.
Well, and then the
right up the fucking middle. Yeah. Anyway.
well, the other thing is that what are you going to do when Moncada comes back on a full-time basis? What do you do with Berger? Hey, move him to second.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is a little bit of a stockier dude, so he probably doesn't have the speed that you'd like him to have for a guy at second base. But I mean, again, I just keep thinking about Correa over there at fucking short, Tim Anderson at second, and what an infield that would be.
They better. I'm gonna tell you right now, the White Sox may make the playoffs. I would say about 75% they'll make the playoffs, and they get
They
bounced out.
should make the playoffs.
Well, yeah, once everybody's up and everyone's hitting again. But the thing is that they're gonna get bounced out again. If you're playing the Yankees in the first round,
Yeah.
see you later.
I honestly, like, going to the Yankees game the other day, and yes, it was against the Tigers, and the pitching matchup was, in the they had Garrett Cole out there just doing his thing. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he had a perfect game up until the 6th inning, which, half the people don't even realize, and all of a sudden you heard, and then I think it was Jonathan Scope for the Tigers who broke that, and they're like, fuck that guy. I was like, fucking
He's doing his job.
That motherfucker fucked up the whole thing for everybody. Oh my God.
Oh man, these Yankees fans, it was hilarious, and funny enough, I actually got a couple compliments on my shirt before we even went to the stadium. I had a guy come take a selfie with me. Oh, I'm from Chicago too, and I look, he's wearing a Washington Nationals World Series shirt. That was kind of funny. But another guy came up and he was like, "Oh, that shirt's great." So I was glad that I actually got some love for my Cubs shirt and no hate for the Yankees fans. But yeah, I mean, look. The whole point of that was to tell you this. I don't see anyone beating the Yankees right now at full strength, because the Yankees aren't even at full strength right now.
No, they're
You still don't have Stanton out there. You got to play fucking what the hell? The one guy, Aaron. There's the other Aaron that's on that. Aaron Hicks. He's trash. He sucks. Aaron Judge is a monster, and Aaron Hicks sucks. But the problem is that Stanton can't stay healthy, and that's the shame of it all, because that team, if they were completely healthy, would be just unbeatable. I mean, look, Aaron Judge is the first player in the majors to hit 20 home runs, and we saw that 20th home run, and he hit another one today. I mean, again, they're playing the Tigers, but I don't care who plays the Yankees right now. I can't see them not being the favorite.
I'm predicting a Yankees-Dodgers World Series.
Hey, let me tell you something.
That'd be great.
That would be fantastic. That would be very entertaining, and that would be something where we'd have to be at the bar for every game, just because, like, you got, anytime when you have Yankees versus or New York versus LA in any championship, I mean, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, that's right. Next up for the Sox are we just talked about this team. My second favorite team, the Dodgers. They'll be here, and then the Rangers. So I believe they'll split these games, because I don't think we have enough firepower right now, even with Lance Lynn and Eloy coming off the IL pretty soon. Do you think Eloy makes a difference when he comes back?
I mean, I think Eloy makes a difference if he's patient, right? I think the major thing with him is that sometimes he gets into his own head that he has to do too much too quickly. So he goes out there and he's swinging at everything. If he can show some restraints and show some patience, then I think he'll do what he needs to do to help the team win. Now, when you talk about Lance Lynn coming off of the IL, I mean, the issue with him is I think he needs to get warmed up. He's going to need a couple of major league starts to really show, him being his true self. I'm worried about him coming directly off the IL, but look, he's a very good pitcher, and if he can gain even a little bit of that form that he had last year, other teams are in trouble.
Yeah, Lance Lynn, he had he had 2 minor league starts already, both scoreless.
That's not major league hitting.
No, I understand that. I understand that. Obviously,
even if he's got to face the Dodgers or even the fucking Rangers, who are trash. I mean, you gotta go. It's big boy time,
Exactly, and I was literally about to say that when you're pitching in the minors, you may be working on something, not necessarily trying to win the game. When you're down there as a major league player, you're like, oh, I'm going to work on my slider and see where it lands. This is my new grip or whatever. You're working on stuff. You're not really like, I'm out there to win the game for these guys. You really don't care about that. I'm there to do my.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree.
You're there for your reps. That's all that's for. So, like you said, when you come back to the big boy league, and you're facing, Marcus Semien from the Rangers, and that murderer's row of the Dodgers, who have an all-star team from 1 through 9. That's a huge difference.
Yeah, and that's my thing, is that you need him. Look, Cease has been very good this year. Kopech has been good. We know what happened with Keuchel, right? He's gone. He's gone.
He's working
right?
he's working at Denny's.
There are pieces in this rotation. I think you guys still need another starter, but I think the way that they play from now until the trade deadline is really going to prove what this team is made of, and that's going to tell you what kind of decisions they're going to make. Are they going to be buyers? Are they going to be sellers? Are they going to try to get rid of some of these contracts? Josh Harrison, are they going to drop him? You know what I mean? What are they going to do with Grandal? There's a lot of questions still on this White Sox team, because they're still sitting there, not where they need to be. If I'm not mistaken, they're still sitting around the 500 mark. Am I correct?
Yeah, there are around the 500 mark with the win this week. Yeah.
So I mean, they really need to kind of jump up. I think this Dodgers series is going to prove a lot to a lot of people, because you need to see what kind of team you are right now, whether you have Eloy or not, whether you have Lancelin or not, the pieces that you've put in place to plug holes. Moncada not being there. Is Berger going to stay hot? You got Mendick in there right now. You got a lot of players out there that are filling in spots. And will they be able to hold up their end of the bargain and, continue to earn their spot? Or are these guys that you're relying on, like Eloy and Lancelin, are they going to have to be the ones that carry the load even if they're not quite ready?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's to see it's a put up or shut up kind of time right now. These guys, it's you're 5 games behind the Twins, 4.5. Yeah, a half a game from the Guardians. You're 4-6 your last 10 games. You're playing 500 ball away, and you're playing sub 500 ball at home. That is not a recipe of a winning team. You've been scoring 3 runs. Ball. Right, you're right. And you've been scoring 3 runs a game on average. I mean, today they scored 6, but 3 runs in the major leagues is not going to get it done at all. So
here's the thing though. They've been playing well against the Rays, which are another very good team, right? I mean, this is a team that's been deep in the playoffs the last couple of seasons and making a World Series, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, it is a good litmus test, even though that no one goes to those Rays games, so no one's paying attention anyway. But I mean, they need to play up to their competition and better than the lower teams, right? So don't just play, don't play Bulls basketball, right? Because the Bulls love to sit there and play down to their competition. So don't just get up for the competition when you're playing against better teams. Play better than shitty teams too.
Yeah, so next month is when the schedule kind of cools down a little bit, but it also gives them a time to catch up. Next month they have the Twins, the Tigers, the Guardians, the Twins, the Guardians, and then the Rockies. So the whole month of July they're playing the Central. So This is the time where you have to feast on these games. You have to show the Central that you are the top dog, that you're not afraid of them. When they come play you, they should be intimidated. Right now, everyone else is intimidated. They're playing these teams and they're playing intimidated. The only time they haven't been intimidated is when they went to Boston and whooped the shit out of them. And then when they played New York and whooped the shit out of them. But then when they came back over here, they kicked their ass. So it's like, you can't have that. I know you gotta win every 2 out of 3 in your own stadium. That's just the way it is. You have to. That's how you have to play, right? So you can't go over. It's nice to get road wins, but you can't sit there and not protect your own home field. I mean, don't get me wrong. Here's the thing. Do not let the opposition find the G spot, okay? Ooh. Do not let them come in here and do their thing and leave you all, sloppy and moist, right? Make sure you go up there, you clean it up, and get your shit done. Oh, right then. E-Rock in great form coming from New York. Look at you.
Hey. And since this is the de facto bottom line, and that's the bottom line.
And that's the bottom line.
All right, fans, we'll be right back with Stirring the Pot after a quick word from our sponsor.
I think I'll perplex him with my slow ball.
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
We all know that 2020 was no joke, and with an ever-changing world climate, many people are looking for a new opportunity. Guys, are you looking for a career that rewards effort and makes you feel valued as a team member? Let me tell you a little about our friends at ACSI. ACSI is a certified RCN business agent. They provide the same RCN services with a personalized touch. Their sales and technician teams work hand in hand, ensuring your experience will be smooth and pleasant. Gone are the days of being transferred from one person to the next. At ACSI, they handle everything from start to finish. It's never been so easy to get internet service. ACSI is a growing Chicagoland company that encourages personal growth and rewards perseverance. As they expand, they're looking for passionate, responsible, and honest professionals to join their team. A career with ACSI means you will be part of a hardworking, flexible, and dynamic team that is a leader in the installation of cable and internet services in the Chicagoland area. Best of all, ACSI was awarded HACIA's 2020 Contractor of the Year Award. Are you ready to grow with a local Chicago company on the rise? Check out acsi.tech and click on careers to get started. That's acsi.tech and click on careers.
Hey, this is Mikey O, and you're listening to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast. Don't forget to visit Mikey O at Mikey O Show or www.mikeyoshow.com.
Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast with E-Rock and Big Z.
Yes, sir.
It's that time again, brother.
Uh-oh.
You know what time it is.
Oh, boy.
It's time for Stirring the Pot. All right, E, so I'm going to defer to you since you had a bunch of culinary delicacies out there in New York. Shoot your shot, sir.
Okay, so here's the thing. All we hear are New Yorkers talking shit about Chicago pizza because they're dumb, and they don't realize that Chicago has two different types of pizza. Of course, we have our deep dish, which everyone knows about, all the different places that Lou Malnati's, everyone knows what the deep dish is. But our traditional pizza that we eat here in Chicago every single fucking day is the thin crust tavern style pizza that's cut in, the 8 different sections, right? We're in the cross sections. We don't do that triangle shit here, right? So I go over to New York and I was like, well, I mean, I keep hearing talking all this shit. I got to try the pizza, right? So I get the pizza and it says, let me get a slice of sausage. And the crust is very nice and crispy. They do the same thing where you get some of these places that do like the pop and the slice of pizza they throw in the oven or whatever. But let me tell you something weird. Mm-hmm. Their sausage pizza, instead of giving you like the chunks of sausages like we have here, it's like a sliced. Number one, I had 2 different places. One sliced it like a pepperoni, like they cooked the Italian sausage and then sliced it like pepperoni. So I'm like, what the fuck is this? And the other place we went to took the whole sausage and like sliced it, and it almost looked like strips of Euro meat. It was weird. I was like, at first I seen it and I'm like, is that fucking anchovies? Like, what is that? So Kim orders a slice of sausage and they bring us this thing. Okay. Now, if I'm not mistaken, when we were there, you told us about a place called Mama's Empanadas or something like that.
Yeah.
That was literally right down the block from the Pasuero place that we went to. Okay. We passed it by. So we did have some empanadas and stuff. We just didn't happen to go there. So here's the question of the week, sir. And I think you can predict what it will be based on my lead up. Pizza, Chicago or New York? What do you say?
Chicago all day, baby. Give me that tavern style, that nice and thin pizza, nice burnt on the outside. Get that little bit of that crunch, and then make sure you have some actual sausage on there, not the salchichon from fucking the bodega that they just picked up this morning. No, I want freshly cut up sausage, put it in pieces in there. You get some cured pepperoni and throw that in there too.
Here's the thing, too, is that when you actually, I used to have to do service calls in the back of pizzeria here in Chicago, and you see them when they take the chunks of sausage, and it's just a big ball. It's not cased sausage. It's a big ball of Italian sausage, and they just grab a chunk, just a pinch with their hand and toss it, and it's raw. So when these guys are putting their sausage on the pizza there, it's already cooked. You're double cooking the sausage. It's all dry and weird. Here, it's fresh. You got your mozzarella. You got so many different types of pizza, and if you really want, you can get the extra crispy crust. So of course, all day, True Chicago Sports Fans endorses Chicago pizza only, because New York, your pizza is okay, but it ain't shit. How about that?
I mean, this is a gimme. This is an alley-oop. I mean, of course we're going to choose Chicago pizza. But was there any good pizza out there that you liked?
The funny thing is I had I didn't have the white pizza, which looked good, but I did not try that. But the place that we went to that was right by the comedy club was the chicken bacon ranch pizza. It was just, you know what I mean? Like, it was good enough where it wasn't, it was different than what I get here. I didn't like the way that their pepperoni, I'm not a big pepperoni pizza guy. Like, I'll get pepperoni and sausage. But yeah, I mean, that was the piece that we had, and I actually grabbed one to take back. And it was funny because one of the first things that I did when I was out there was I found a place to find my herbal refreshments, and I actually got a recommendation from the young lady at the front counter. This is the place that we stayed. It wasn't like a traditional hotel. It almost looked like a factory. It was transformed into a hotel, like a lot of these lofts that you do here in Chicago. Mm-hmm. So we check in. We go up to the 4th floor. We see the view. We will go right back down and be like, hey, can we get a better view? And they're like, yeah, it's going to be like another charge for the, per night. We're like, book it. Go up there, come back down on the way out, and I said, hey, this is going to sound a little weird, but I need a recommendation for a dispensary. She goes, well, this place isn't necessarily a dispensary, but go check out Shorty's Convenience a couple blocks down. So, all right, cool. So we go and check out Shorty, and you walk in. It's just like the head shops we have here, except right there on the counter, there's vapes and there's flour and there's this. And I'm like, when did y'all become legal? They're like April 21st. I'm like, that was like a fucking month ago, guys. They're out there, man. They are out there. They don't care. You walk right in and it's right there. So, yeah, I mean, that was one thing that New York has on Chicago versus, you know what I mean? When I talk about one versus the other. But, I mean, look, that made the pizza taste better.
I bet it did.
I was hungry enough. You know what I mean? So my question for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Before we get out of here on 99, what you looking at? What have you been watching that isn't sports, sir?
I've been watching this show that I don't know how I even got into it, but it's on Netflix. It's called Lilyhammer. So this it's from 2012. It's 3 seasons. I'm almost done with it. And essentially it is Steve Van Zandt, who played the consigliere to why am I? I'm so bad with names. To Tony, right? So he's the number one. He's Syl, you know. He's Syl, and so essentially it starts off as a mob thing, and he gets passed over for the number one spot in the mob, and they try to kill him, and so he rats on them, right? So he says, "I'm going to rat on these people, but in exchange, I want to be moved." And my identity wiped and all that stuff. I want to be moved. And he goes, I want to go to Lilyhammer. They're like, what?
Why do I remember this?
So it is 3 seasons, and it is hilarious because he's in Norway, adjusting to a whole new culture. If you don't like reading subtitles, do not watch this because unless you know Norwegian, you're not going to know what's going on. You have to put the subtitles on so you can understand what everyone else is saying. But he does a great job of acting through it, and it's very seamless. Even though he doesn't speak the language, he understands it, and he gets into a bunch of little things, and he creates a little crew. He gets a nightclub just like he had here, you know, in The Sopranos, and he's enforcing different things, and essentially he's the mob there now. So it's pretty good. I just watched one episode in season 3 that brought back Paulie. They brought back Paulie. He was a character on there. He played a priest. They brought back his wife. Yeah, they brought back his wife from Sopranos as well. And there's an episode where he goes back to New York and they play the Sopranos theme song on the radio. Yeah. So there was a lot of callbacks in that episode. I thought it's really, really funny. It's very dark humor as well, so that's something I really, really enjoy. Each episode is about an hour, and there's only 3 seasons, so you can fly through it.
Yeah, okay. I'm still working on Stranger Things, man. I watched 2 episodes last night, Mike. As soon as I came home, literally the night before, before we went to New York, I watched an episode with my daughter because I told her as I'm packing a bag, I told her I was like, "Hey, we can watch an episode before," and she did not forget that. So midnight we're watching an episode because she knows I'm not going to be around for the next couple of days. And then as soon as we get back, "Hey, can we watch it?" And I'm like, "Yo, I haven't slept." I tried to sleep on a plane. That didn't work. I says, give me a minute. So by the time like 10 o'clock, she's like, look, man, it's been several minutes.
She's like, I'm good at math.
I mean, like, hey, look, honor roll student all the way through, straight A's. You know, I could not, this kid couldn't kick more ass if she tried. The way that she's playing softball right now, she's a leader. She's been catching. She's out there just, you know, the grime, the grit, the loud one on the team, you know, one calling out. You know, I mean, look, I mean, of course I will make time to watch your favorite show with you. Mm-hmm. So last night we watched another 2 episodes, and it got to the point I was like, hey, I can't do anymore. I got to go to sleep. I ain't got no more in me. I had nothing left. But I gave it all I got, and we watched 2 more episodes, and it is getting weirder and creepier as it goes. And Have you watched the whole thing so far, right?
Yeah, I'm already caught up. I watched the entire first part of the Stranger Things new season. It is just like the kids. As the kids are growing up, the stories are getting darker and weirder, as they should, right? You're not gonna do 10-year-old stories when they're 14 and 15. So, a lot of the things are going well. There is one thing that does bug me is, and you'll probably see it later, and I'm not giving anything away, but the fact that when they do flashbacks, that Elle is able to talk, but the entire first season she couldn't talk on Stranger Things, so that makes no sense to me.
Yeah, well, she wouldn't talk, and that's what. And the weird thing is when you do see versions of her as she's younger, it's all CGI that kind of bothered. We're like, why does she look so fucking weird? You're gonna tell me you couldn't just go back to old footage, but whatever. Did you watch anything else aside from Lilyhammer?
All American. I started the new season of that.
Yeah,
that's a great show. I love football.
Greatest fucking show ever. But I watched this shit. It's like this is you know what it is? It's a girl show, right? This is a very girl soap opera. But but it has football and gangs and dudes will watch it too. And you're like, yeah. You go.
Yeah, Tay Diggs.
You go, British actor playing an American kid. Yeah. Like, fuck out of here. It's so stupid and corny, but I watched 3 seasons of it so far.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's like, oh, I don't watch Dawson's Creek. I don't want to
watch this shit. First of all, I love Dawson's Creek.
So do I. I'm just saying, people are like, oh, I don't want to watch it. I'm like, I own the seasons. I own my DVD.
I was so hooked in the first season when Pacey slept with his hot teacher. I was like, yes.
I'm in. Yeah. Yeah. That's probably the best season anyways. But yeah. I mean, I watched that, All American. I don't think I've watched anything else. I'm waiting till I can binge The Boys. They have 3 episodes in. I think Obi-Wan Kenobi has 3 episodes in. So I'm waiting for those to accumulate so I can just sit down and watch 4 or 5 at a time.
I was just scrolling through Disney. I gotta watch Boba Fett. I gotta watch Obi-Wan. I gotta watch all this shit, man. I know there's something else in that I've missed, and I don't know. There's just so many shows I gotta watch.
All the Marvel shows,
all of that shit, man.
Yeah, the Loki and all that. Yeah,
I watched WandaVision. I watched the other one that came out. Right, it was the Falcon. It's Winter Soldier. Yeah. Whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And then that was it. That was the last thing I watched on there. So I'm just behind, and a lot of that has to do with having kids. They like to watch TV too. So what I've been watching is People, man. People watching is what I did mainly when I talked earlier about Washington Square Park. I wanted to talk about that here because that's what I did. So on the way back, I says, hey, is that Washington Square Park? My wife says, yep. I said, okay, we got to walk through there. And I'm pretty 99% sure that is the park that they were at in the movie Kids when they were skateboarding. I was like, hey, and I looked at my wife. I says, hey, you ever seen that one movie Kids? And she looked at me so confused. I was like, you don't get the reference. I don't like you anymore. Anyway, I didn't say that. But yeah, so here is the thing, is that if you've ever walked through Wicker Park from the Schiller and Damon, the corner of Damon and Schiller, all the way through up to Wicker Park, when you get to Honoree and go through over to Milwaukee, that is kind of very similar layout. The way that you walk through this place, you walk through, there's the diagonal sidewalk. You're kind of walking diagonally through the park, and you lead up to the fountain in the middle. You got the guys sitting around playing chess. You know, there you got it was packed. There was so many people here because it's literally butted right up against across the street from NYU. And as you go through, there's just people sitting everywhere, benches, and there's no demographic. It's just everybody. At one point, I saw 3 17-year-old Jewish kids wearing suits sitting on a bench smoking a joint. This is the thing I'll tell you about New York. Everybody smokes weed. Everybody, everywhere. It doesn't matter. That's why they're able to sell joints and fucking blunts and candy and whatever out of the bodega right there in the corner. Nobody gives a fuck. I mean, I kid you not, as you approach the center of Washington Square Park, where the fountain is, beautiful fountain, there's a circle around it with vendors, and some are selling, art that they made. Some are selling handbags. Some are selling weed. A lot of them, almost all of them, are selling weed like it's nothing. Like, here is the weed that I brought for you to buy today. And so these kids and whoever else just goes up, buys their weed for the day, and sits down on the bench in the middle of the public park and smokes weed. I'm like, how is this a thing? Like, everywhere we went, it didn't matter. Manhattan, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens, everywhere. Weed everywhere. The whole city smells like weed.
Well, it's better than smelling like garbage because they keep their garbage in the front.
Well, it smelled like that too. I mean, don't get me wrong. There was definitely spaces that it just smelled like, my favorite phrase, rotting garbage on a hot New York City summer night, right? That's just what it is. But weed makes it smell a little bit better. I mean, at least you got that. And the other thing I'll say is that they do a really good job of having outdoor dining, right? Like they cut out big chunks of the sidewalk to force extra tables and chairs and shit like that. And they have done a very good job of maximizing the space that they do have. But again, my biggest thing that I watched was Washington Square Park. I saw pretty much, it was like watching Men in Black, right? You see every culture from every other corner of the universe hanging out there, whether it's the young Jewish high school kids in their full suits sitting there smoking a joint, or the fucking 6-year-old dreaded guy whose most of his dreads are just in the back of his head because the rest of it is bald, and skaters, and just everybody on the planet was just there that day. They're like, you're gonna be here, so are we, come check us out. And that's what I watched this weekend.
It sounds like another episode of Men in Black. You're just gonna walk through there and like, wow, you're from that planet and you're from this planet. Yeah. That's exactly what it feels like. I can imagine. I've only been in New York once, and it was just for one day. We went up there with the Chicago Fire team, and then we were just like exploring everything. And they're like, "Oh, are you gonna make it to the game?" We're like, "Yeah, we're kind of stuck in traffic in Uptown. We're not gonna make it to Jersey." So explored the whole city in one day. Did a lot of walking. So Empanada Mamas is the place that you're talking about. Fire food. But again, the city's beautiful. It's going to take you a couple days to walk all the way around and to explore. There's great cuisine that you can find anywhere at any time. But like you said, their pizza sucks.
The pizza was fine. It just ain't shit. Like, y'all ain't shit for thinking it's shit. That's the problem that I had with it. You know what I mean? Like, y'all try to gas it up like this is magic. Oh, it's the best ever. I'm like, it's fine. But I mean, like, I didn't see any pizza there that was like so like amazing that you had to go there. I don't know, man. Did you try the pizza when you were there?
No. Why? I tried falafel.
Oh, brother.
I went to the streetcar and I was like, hey, I got to do it. Got to try some falafel.
That is the one thing that I wanted to try that I really didn't was a hot dog. I did not get any street meat.
I did get the hot dog, but I didn't do the sauerkraut and all that crap on it. No.
Yeah, so we got a hot dog at Yankee Stadium, and they gave you a sauerkraut. My wife looked at me like, what the fuck is this?
I can't do sauerkraut. Are you ready to get out of here, sir?
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, sauerkraut on a hot dog is a no-go for me. I couldn't do it. I think I would say that you could take that and throw it at somebody, that little container of sauerkraut that they gave us. But that's what got me banned from Facebook for a whole fucking week. So that's why no one saw me posting anything online this whole time we were in New York.
Did you see what I tagged you on? A bunch of stuff.
And you kept tagging me because you knew I couldn't respond. And that was
I wanted you to respond when you were able to get in. So I'm waiting for your response on those texts.
Yo soy tu papá.
All right, y'all, that is it for today. Thank you so much for listening. A big thank you to our sponsors, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, ACSI, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 at checkout for 15% off of your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Go and get your shirts right now. And don't forget to check out our guy Danny and his crew over at ACSI.tech and check out their career section to start an exciting new career in the communications industry. Go to ACSI.tech, that's ACSI.tech, and click on careers to apply today and get your summer in gear. Don't forget to check out the Shy Native Radio podcast, now available on all major platforms. Mike Logic, Ideal, and Throw MC talk about sports, movies, and all types of ill shit. Go and check them out and submit your music. They will play it if they like it. So if you got something good to hear, submit it to them and they will play it on the show. And don't forget, Music in the Woods Music Festival is coming up August 13th. It is in Big Bend Lake in Des Plaines. It's right off of Bender and Gulf Road. This is their music fest. They did it a couple years ago, but with the COVID years happening, they were not able to do it the last couple years. There's a lot of really, really great acts for this one. Of course, Ideal and Mike Logic. You got Fury, Green Lights Music, AM Early Morning, I Am God. I mean, there are so many acts on here. Doc Watson is there. Look, you got to check them out. Again, go to idealraps.com. I think tickets are like $35. This is an all ages show. Anyone over 12 has to have a ticket, right? So that's what this is. But check it out. The Music in the Woods Music Festival, August 13th in Big Bend Lake in Des Plaines. Again, check out idealraps.com to get your tickets now. Shout out to Ronesh, Panic, Serious Beats, and custom made for the beats we played on today's show. Check out paniconthebeat.com for all your Moleman merch and gear. Check us out on social media. You can find us at True Chi Fans on Twitter. That's at True CHI Fans on Twitter and on TikTok. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and reach out to us. Hit the DMs with your stirring the pot, with your movie recommendations, and just tell us what you think about the show. You can also reach out to us on our email at truechicagosportsfans@gmail.com. All right, y'all. For Big Z, this is E-Rock. We'll see you next week for episode 100, baby.
Wow.
Be good to each other.
For the love of sports.
Swish.
A few moments later.
You have a lot of incest.
That's real. Shut your mouth.
Lover boy.
Nature versus nurture, Lodge. Nature always wins.
I think he's on steroids.
Hasta luego, amigos.
Show's over, show's over, show's over.